to today's video. I've been wanting to film this one for years and I'm finally doing it, so this is really exciting. I know it's also been requested, so I hope that you enjoy. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be sharing everything that I do on a new moon and a full moon, share some manifestation tips, a little bit of a new moon and full moon routine. In order to do that though, it has to be a new and full moon. So today is February 9th and it is not only a new moon, but it is a super moon in Aquarius. Basically the moon is super close to Earth right now, making this new moon extra powerful. So I definitely do not want to waste this new moon energy. I'm gonna be sharing a lot of what I do on a new moon. And then in about 2 weeks, we will jump to a full moon and share what I do on a full moon. What makes a new moon so special and important is that it represents a new cycle. This is now the beginning of a new moon cycle in Aquarius, so it's very important to kind of reflect that in your day-to-day life. We are beginning a new cycle. Everything that occurred in last month's moon, last cycle, has been complete. The cycle is over. New moons are all about starting fresh, starting over, resetting, and preparing for this next month, preparing for this next cycle and what's coming in. I'll try to break down this video because there are a couple of things throughout the day that I will do to ensure that I am just practicing some new moon rituals, but a lot of these things will start to feel natural as well. Like you might just feel it in your gut, like, oh, I don't know why, but I just really wanted to purge my closet today or clean or like whatever it is. We are so connected to the planets, to the stars, to the moon. The moon has such a direct effect on us. The moon has such a direct effect on water. The waves come from the moon's craters. Like, it's crazy to think about, but I think what a lot of people forget is that us as humans are made up of about 70% water, and the moon has a direct effect on water, which is why the moon has such a big direct effect on us. We are primarily made up of water as well, so we are very influenced by the moon. But some of the biggest things that I do on a new moon is clean, cleansing, resetting the space, making sure that everything is in its place and ready for this new moon. I plan, so I'll be writing in my journal a lot, making some plans, manifesting what I want to bring in for this next month. I think I might have touched on this, but also like cleansing as well. I took a new moon shower today, just cleansed my body, physically feel that renewal, that almost like baptismal renewal. If this video is not for you and you are already like not believing what I'm saying, I will see you in my next video. But if you're watching, please have an open mind. I do have a ton of other spiritual and manifestation videos, so I'll link that playlist above and down below. A lot of this stuff I do often do like weekly, I mean if not more. I mean obviously I shower almost every day and then I clean my house and I water the plants weekly, but it's just really crucial that on a new moon you feel that reset and you clean or you deep clean or whatever it is that you need to do, you do that day. So I'm just making sure that the house right now is reset and ready for this cycle. So I've watered the plants, I'm doing dishes, I'm cleaning, I'm gonna do a quick tidy, and then after the cleaning stage is over, I usually have like a work period where whatever I need to get done that day I'll do in terms of just work. And then I also want to plan some videos and content ideas for this next month. A little bit later, after everything is clean, we're going to cleanse because that's very important. And then we're gonna manifest tonight when the new moon is, well, the new moon won't really be visible or in the sky because it's a new moon, but I always manifest in the evenings, so that will be later. But first step right now is to clean the house and cleanse the space. I don't do this every new moon, but if it lines up, I try to remove all of the trash from my house. Most of my trash bins were full, so it worked out. Just gotta get rid of all of that literal trash. Like, get it out of the house. Definitely always remove the trash. Straight in the trash bin. Now that the house is tidy and feels refreshed and picked up and any old trash or things that no longer serve me are removed, it is time to cleanse the space, and this also helps remove any old stored energy that is no longer serving us. So there are a few ways to do this, and I want to show you kind of where I keep everything. On this like credenza side table here, I have Palo Santo. These are bay leaves, which I'll talk about more during the full moon. I keep my lighters in this, and then I think I have more. Oh, I have a lighter. Sometimes I have incense in here. I have sage right here, and then I think I have some incense there, because I have an incense burner here as well. But smoke can be a really awesome cleansing tool. Definitely research ethically sourced cleansing tools as well, and make sure that you are never taking anything that is reserved for a private practice. The best advice I can give though is just to stick to incense. There are tons of different incense sticks that you can get, and a lot of spiritual stores sell them for really, really cheap. You can get a ton for like $1. This moon is giving me goddess energy. I have this goddess incense I think I'm going to burn, and then I just like to walk around my house, and the way that I cleanse is I get all entryway doors, so you'll see me do this a lot around doorways, any path that I walk through, corners. You just want to cleanse and remove any negative stored or old energy. Cleanse it. Also, when it's warmer out, I always have the windows open on a new moon just to get all that fresh new air cycling in, so that is another tip as well. But let's cleanse the space. My memory card had to be switched out when I was cleansing, so I didn't get that much footage, but I did also light more incense just to stagnantly burn. So I have a backwards flow one in my cauldron that I showed you, and then I put another goddess one on the incense burner just to keep cleansing the space. This is my YouTube journal. Everything regarding content and planning is in here, and I'm at a point where I have made all of the videos that I wanted to make in January. So it's February 9th, like I said. I have so many video ideas, but I'm overwhelmed with which ones to prioritize or which ones to post. So I was trying to plan out some videos for me to film tomorrow. I mean, I have this video, but I can't put this video out for like a month because it's gonna take me about a month to make. So in the meantime, I'm trying to plan some content for the next month. I've also been trying to stay super consistent on TikTok, so I was planning some content there as well. My TikTok, I'm trying to make primarily thrifting and antiquing related videos, book related videos, and then like vlogs. But not this type of vlog, like a silent, more romanticizing my evening type of vlog. I was trying to plan out some TikTok content, and then I have a couple of brand deals, so I'm trying to figure out where or how to film some of them. Like I have one with Apothecary that I love so much, and I've worked with them for a while, but they've never offered me like a paid brand deal. It was always just gifted, which I'm always open to, especially when it's something that like I align with and respect and use all the time. So this is really common, I think, where if you work on like an affiliate basis with the brand and they notice that your affiliate is doing really well, they'll offer you a brand deal, and that's what happened. So I know that I need to film a video sponsored by Apothecary, but I don't know where to put it. Like I don't know what the actual content will be around that deal. So that is me just trying to plan out some work content for this next Aquarius moon. I think now I'm just going to get some work done. This would be like a typical day where I'm just gonna do work. I might go to Target later because I have a few things I need to pick up. But the biggest thing that I do every new moon, I do in the evenings. So that will be later tonight when I am manifesting in my journal for this cycle. But everything that I've done today is kind of just preparation for the manifesting, to really cleanse all of the energetic pathways, to really raise my vibration and bring in what I'm asking for. So the cleaning, cleansing, and like planning is all just prep work. Even if something seems little, it's still important to do. Even just taking out all of my trash bins, I feel so much lighter. Like the house feels light. And being in that headspace during this day is also very important to like align your thoughts. I'm going to get some work done. I will see you this evening when it is time to manifest. It is so much later. I'm in bed. I have my manifesting journal, and the final thing that I do every single new moon is write a letter to the moon, manifesting, asking the moon and the universe what I want this new cycle. This part is really crucial, and I've been writing a letter to the moon since January of 2020, and I went into it so like, okay, I got nothing to lose, might as well say the most outrageous things and see what happens. And it came true. And ever since that moment, I realized the power in manifestation, and it's so important not to hold back and really truly just ask the universe for what you want. I have a full video on my manifestation journal and how I set it up, so I'll link that above and down below if you want. But for these new moon letters, it's really simple, and you can truly just make it however you want. I always start it with saying Luna instead of Dear Moon. I just say Luna because it gives me more of like a personal, feminine person to address in a way. But you can write Dear Universe, Dear Moon, however you want to start this letter. Totally up to you. I always just put the date and the new moon. So I'm gonna write February 9th, 2024, new moon in Aquarius. I'll go back and read what I wrote during the new moon of the last cycle and see kind of what I was asking for. And then I also do write a letter on the full moons, so I'll explain that a little later on in this video. And then in this letter, I will address that. I will say thank you for everything that came true this last month, give the universe a little bit of an update on things that happened this last month in connection to my manifestation. For example, I asked for opportunities and financial abundance, and I also asked for brand deals this last month, and I got 3 brand deals, which is a lot in general, but also a lot in January, because usually it's December that feels that busy. So I'll definitely say thank you for the brand deals and opportunities, and say a little bit about this month and what was working, what wasn't working. Then at the end, I list out everything I'm asking for. It's always important to say how much you trust in the universe's timing, and just in general, how much you just trust the universe. It's also very important to say thank you. I'm gonna write my letter, and then maybe I'll share a little bit of what I'm writing for this new moon. I think I'm gonna do pink because it's February and Valentine's Day, and it's all about love. Hearing noises like that is so scary when you live alone and it's 1 a.m. Both of the cats are downstairs, so I just have to hope that it was them. It just sounded like something fell, but what the heck? Oh, that was scary. I will share a little bit of what I wrote for this new moon in Aquarius. I forgot to mention, I do have a Spotify playlist that I listen to when I write this. I'll link it in this video, but I've been listening to this playlist since 2021. It's the morning frequency playlist and it has a ton of different frequencies for various things that will help you. So I did originally download this for when I had to get up super early during my house renovations and I was exhausted and couldn't listen to music yet because it was so early. I mean, there's different hertz in here that are meant to ease anxiety, open third eye, facilitate change, raise positive energy, awake intuition, dissolve negative energy, reset the mind. So all those different frequencies help a ton with manifesting. I really regret not having it playing earlier, but I still have to repeat this out loud a couple times to myself, so I'll play it for that part. That's another thing that I do to like highlight and emphasize it, is speak it into existence, which I'm about to do right now with you. So I'll share a little bit, but I'll probably end up skimming some of the more personal parts. But I just wrote for this new super moon in Aquarius, Luna, I can't believe we are only 2 months into this year. Somehow it feels longer. Thank you for such a full January. I was able to create, and that always fills my heart so much. Thank you so much for, and then I list all my brand deals that I had, as well as how much the total was. That is blank dollars in brand deals this last month, and I am so grateful. Please, I open as many doors as I can to more. I am posting every day on TikTok and I've earned $1.60, but I know the potential is huge and this is just the beginning. TikTok has the potential to bring in such abundance. The money is there, I just have to strike gold. Thank you, and thank you, universe, for this magical life I live and for guiding me to this very moment right now. I have a great feeling February is about to bring in so much more to be thankful for. I do like little to-do check boxes. I like the structure that I just do little like lists. So then I get into what I'm asking for in February. So I'm hoping to make a certain amount this month. It is a shorter month and right now I'm paying off a lot. I just had to get my car repaired, which was over $2,000. That went on a credit card that I had just paid off. So that was kind of a bummer. But I'm grateful that I had that credit card to make those repairs because my car was not really safe to drive. The brakes weren't working, my rotaries broke, like it was dangerous. So I'm very thankful for my safety and I'm thankful to have been able to pay it somehow, but now it's an additional expense and I'm already very stretched. With short months, February always kind of scares me because it is a short month and it's usually a pretty quiet month in terms of ways to make money. So, and I know that the amount of money that I need always shows up. And I say that and I put that out there and it happens. So I put out what I need to earn this month. Be ready to launch my Etsy shop. I've been planting the seed a little bit here and there that I'm launching an online antique store. So I would love to have that ready for its first launch. And then get into Martina on Valentine's Day. Martina is one of my favorite restaurants here and I've been wanting to go there for forever, but waiting for a special occasion. And then I waited too long to make a reservation for Valentine's Day and they booked out. I called them earlier this week though, and the person working said that if I showed up at 5 p.m. when they opened, she might be able to get us seated at the bar. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna literally stake out this restaurant at like 4:30 p.m. I just haven't been there in a year and a half and I love that place so much. So I'm manifesting that it all works out because it always does. Even though it's a short month, I know it will be overflowing and abundant with peace and grace. I know it all to be true because of you and I trust you always. I know you are always guiding and protecting me. Thank you for that. Not every single month looks the same. Some months I feel like are a lot more structured or like magical than others in terms of how I'm writing. I'm usually just writing it kind of like messily before bed in the dark, but it's always crucial that I write it and then I always say it out loud, speaking to the moon. Some months, if I'm really asking for big things, like years ago when I was asking for this house or for different relationship elements, I would like sleep with this open underneath my pillow. I'd have crystals on it. Like I can go hard, but the point is that you're putting the energy out there and asking the universe and just making it known. So that is what I wrote. And then In 2 weeks on the full moon, I'll do a check-in letter right here, because by the time we get to the full moon, some of the things that I am asking for should start to come into fruition. So I like to do like a checkup, check-in type of letter to the universe on the full moon, as well as some other rituals. But that is everything for my new moon ritual routine. I'll see you in 14 days for how I celebrate the full moon and kind of some special rituals that I do then. It's gonna be very different energy because the new moon is all about like peaceful cleanliness, calmness, grounding, setting up for this new cycle, and full moon is like the peak. There's a reason the word lunatic has Luna in it. The moon brings out a lot in us. So I'll see you for the full moon. Good night. Full moon tonight. It is February 24th, so it's been about 2 weeks since the last time that I've seen you. Happy full moon. It's actually a really clear night tonight, and I was able to see the moon earlier when I was doing some ritual thing. I was spreading salt to bring in abundance because of some stuff that happened today. The salt came from an item that I don't know, it's a long story, but I saw it as a sign, so I went to go spread it on my balcony, and then I noticed the bright full moon. She is so bright tonight. So I'm excited to share some of the things that I do typically on a full moon. Obviously, every single full moon will look different. There are a lot of things that I do on full moons that I don't do every single full moon, depending on what that month is bringing in, or if I'm really struggling. There are a lot of different things that just work best on a full moon, but I'm not doing all of that every single month, if that makes sense. But if there is a ritual, spell, manifestation, or anything that you are trying to bring into light, the full moon is your best night to do it, because that is when the energy is at its peak, the moon is out and shining, and that energy is able to charge down onto you. So one of the biggest things that I recommend doing on a full moon is charging your crystals. My house is filled with hundreds of crystals, so at this point in my crystal journey, it's just impossible for me to bring all those crystals to a window that faces the moon or even outside. But when I lived in my apartment, I would do this because my collection was really small. But if you have a windowsill, place all of the crystals there. I also had like a big ledge on the outside of my apartment windows, so I was even able to place some of the crystals outside for a direct charge. If you're planning on doing a certain spell, or if you're planning on using a specific crystal to bring something in, this is the month to charge that. So if I were trying to manifest a relationship or a job or money, there are crystals that correlate with that. So for example, kunzite, my best friend, I would probably be charging kunzite underneath the full moon if I was trying to manifest a divine relationship. Citrine, if I'm trying to bring in luck, or you know, there's so many different things, and I have videos on crystals too. So that's something that I recommend doing, as well as charging moon water. So I can show you some of my charged moon water from past months. I haven't had a reason to use it, but I have these glass jars. And basically this is just water that I would place out on my balcony underneath the full moon. Charged moon water is very powerful. Usually in the summer, I even take my water bottle and I'll place that full of water outside on a full moon, and that will charge underneath the full moon, and then I'll drink it and have the energy of the moon in me. This is also a very powerful tool if you are trying to manifest something in. So when I'm going through like big spiritual transformations or big life-changing moments or challenges, a lot of times it's, you know, when you're going through a breakup and you are trying to manifest somebody back, if you write on a sticky note what you are manifesting and put that underneath a container of water, and then you charge that underneath the moon, and then you drink that water, the words have been charged into the water by the moon. You're drinking the words, putting it into your body, and it comes true. It sounds so like spiritual, but it works, I swear to God. So if I'm ever going through an upheaval, hard, difficult time like that, that is another thing that I recommend doing tonight. But if you're kind of just chilling right now in life and don't really feel that dramatic pull or need to turn to something like that. I feel like in times of need is when people turn to like prayer and religion and spiritual rituals, because you're just looking for hope and guidance and a miracle. You know, life is pretty good right now. I've got everything that I've manifested for the most part. So those are things that I would do if I were in a more like drastic, dire place of needing guidance, needing hope, needing the moon. And you know, it comes in waves, so there are months where I do feel like I need that, and you listen to your inner self, your spiritual self, and what you need that month. But there are two things that I do every single full moon, and the first thing I do in my kitchen down here, and that is burn bay leaves. So up on this rattan shelf I have the bay leaves, and then I keep a lighter in this old candle. For this, you're gonna need bay leaves, which is just in the seasoning section of any grocery store, a lighter, and then something to write with. So I'm gonna grab a Sharpie. The difference between a new moon and a full moon is a new moon, you wanna manifest and bring things in. And a full moon, you want to use all this energy and be creative and social and put your energy towards something, but you also want to release and let things go. And that is where the bay leaves come in. This is a really, really good, easy ritual practice for anything that you need to let go of. Some of my go-tos are if I am disagreeing with somebody, if I feel like there's tension, you write that person plus ego. So if I were like fighting with an ex, a fake made up ex, I would put that ex's name and write ex's ego, and then you burn these, and you are burning what is on the leaf. Or back when I was having a hard time with various breakups or accepting reality, I would write, you know, fear of whatever it is. So with a breakup, oftentimes your fear is losing that person, right? So I'd write losing blank, and then you burn it. Or fear of losing blank, and then you burn it. Anxiety. I feel like anxiety had such a strong hold of my life. I mean, at times it gets worse. And there are times where anxiety I felt damaged or ruined a lot in my life. All caps, I would write anxiety on a leaf and then burn it until the whole thing is burned. And releasing the anxiety, I'm letting go of the anxiety that is like holding on to me. So there are things that I try to find every single month to release. It's just a really, I think, healthy practice. So this month, something that comes to mind is doubt. Doubting myself, doubting my abilities, doubting the negative thoughts, whatever it is. If I'm ever having like problems with various relationships in my life or a certain toxic person, you can write like that person, like I said, person's ego, person's whatever it is. I try to avoid just writing the name. You want to be even more specific. If you have somebody that you're trying to release out of your life, you can write that person, or just say, you know, like my hold on blank, or letting go of like whatever it is, releasing blank into like out of your world. There are ways to do that safely, not like dark magic, but I think in a healthier way. But mostly I think it comes down to ego. So I'm gonna do doubt, and then I'm gonna write money blockage, because I'm trying to open myself up to as much financial abundance as possible. So I will release any money blockages that I have, and then I don't know, if I have any sadness or lingering like things of the past, I'll write it on this leaf. So it can be as simple as just like the past, or if you have more specific things about it, I do. So I'm gonna, just for myself, write what that is, and then I'll show you kind of how I burn these. So I've written down what I am releasing this month. I wrote doubt holding me back, and then money blockages, and then some stuff from my past that isn't reality that I need to just like get rid of. Basically something that doesn't exist because you're just remembering the past version of it. A lot of times I have one that says fear of blank, you know, whatever anxieties or fears you're having, but this came to mind this month. So I've got my lighter. I always do it, ignore the dishes. I have not done that yet tonight. I always do it in my sink because that's where I feel the safest, and then the remains of the leaves go into my sink anyway. Definitely be safe about it. I don't want to be advising you to go home and play with fire. If this is something that is unattainable for you, or if you don't feel like you have a safe place to do it, don't do it. You can write it down, crumple it up, tear up the pieces, throw them into the trash. There are so many other ways of doing this very basic concept. This is just one that works well, and you can do research too on bay leaves and all of that. Oh, and then I also focus on it too, and I'll probably say it out loud and watch it burn. I really like being able to rinse it and wash it down my sink. It's very like ashes to ashes, dust to dust in my mind. That is how I burn bay leaves. Very simple. You can make it however you want, but it's just writing down something that you need to let go of. A lot of times people will write down the name of like an ex or whoever they need to get over. I think that's how I started doing this years and years ago as well. But yeah, very, very simple. That's all you need. If I'm really going through stuff, there is so much I do on a full and new moon, but for just the every typical month when I'm not struggling, I just burn some bay leaves of whatever's on my mind. And then the other big thing that I do is journal, which we will get to upstairs. I also did have a reading for a client tonight, and it was one of the most eeriest readings I've ever done. I think because it was a full moon, it was just so like insane. Like usually nothing spooky happens, but this one was just wild. So that was crazy to have and to be able to give to my client. I do offer tarot readings. Tonight it was a tarot and oracle card reading. Just shoot me a message on Instagram if you're ever interested in one. I've got a lot of different packages. So practicing yoga on a full moon or going to a sound bath is something else that I do. There's just so much. If there's anything big spiritual that you want to do it on a full moon. But you know, there are some months where I honestly forget until the last minute where I'm like, oh my God, today is a full moon. I think when I'm really going through a spiritual level up transformation, that is when I'm so in tune. And that has happened when I was like 21, when I was 25, when I was going through like really, really, really big life, like skin shedding moments. But now I feel like I'm at such a place of peace where I don't need to cling so hard to get here, because I've made it, which is just so wild to also say. But I don't want to like forget to mention all the things that helped on a full moon or different spells. I talk about different spells in different videos though, so I won't go over those because those are very specific to like how to manifest somebody back, how to whatever. I'll link the playlist with everything down below because I'm sure that would be more helpful. But on a typical full moon, when I'm not going through stuff, all I would probably do is go to a yoga class or use a sound bowl, burn some bay leaves, and then journal and update before bed. I just wrote a letter to the moon, just kind of checking in. So the full moon letter really is just like a check-in with updates, because at this point through the cycle, you should start to see your manifestations coming true. Some of them might not be completely true, but you should start to like feel things festering. So some of them you are able to check off. Like I checked off at least one. I could have checked off more, but I feel like I want to wait until more like happens with it. I don't remember how much I shared during the new moon, but one of the things that I manifested this moon cycle was to get into the specific restaurant. Very, very great restaurant for Valentine's Day, but it's such a small restaurant that they were like sold out. So when I called before Valentine's Day, like literally early February, the restaurant basically just told me to show up right at 5 when they open and hope to get a spot at the bar. So I had it as one of my manifestation things, get into Martina on Valentine's Day. That was something that I was able to cross off and then tell the universe about, or tell the moon and the universe about in this letter, because on Valentine's Day, not only did we get seated, but I believe that we got sat at the best spot in the restaurant. It was like the coziest little nook, best spot you could ever get. We did get there right at 5 and they were completely full. We got turned away. Everyone had like just sat because they had just opened. It wasn't like anyone was leaving anytime soon. Even though I trusted the universe and I knew we would eat there because I was not gonna go until we did, I definitely was a little bit scared. But Ashton and I ended up walking to a different restaurant for an hour. We got a drink and then we walked back around 6:15, 6:30, checked the bar again. It was full. The restaurant looked even busier than before. And at this point, I'm not going to lie, I was close to tears. Not to be dramatic, but like we had been saving this restaurant for years, but we decided to get a closer look at the bar, and their bar isn't one with like lingering space. Like it was designed in a way where like you cannot linger. So we walked up to the bar and tucked behind a wall, we saw 2 extra stools that we could not see from the entrance of an older couple that was literally signing the bill. Like they were leaving right as we got there. And in that moment I was like, we're sitting there, that's our spot. And they ended up being a really sweet older couple. They saw us kind of standing there and the guy like waved us down. He was like, come here, to like give us their spot. We made some joke about like thanks for warming it up for us or saving us our spots or whatever, and they wished us a happy Valentine's Day. But it was really, really nice and they were so sweet. So it ended up working out, which I knew it would, and we got the best, coziest spot. Like could not have asked for anything better. So that was one thing that came true already. I guess I'll share a little bit of what I wrote to kind of give you an idea, because I also was asking for like financial abundance and just catching up on work or a certain amount of money I want to make. And in my new moon letter, I mentioned like certain brand deals, but on the new moon when I was manifesting financial abundance, I ended up manifesting like 3 more brand deals that have come in. I'm so grateful because last year I was only able to get 4 brand deals on YouTube. And what's crazy is it's the middle of February and I've already beat that for 2024 with ones that are coming in. Like I have 3 that just came in this last couple of weeks. Yeah, so I talk about that. I just want to make it as simple as possible. It's your letter. You can make it however you want. But I do always start it by saying thank you for whatever has come in, and then I tell the universe or the moon what has started to come in and then what work I am doing to bring the rest of it in. That's kind of like my outline. And it's almost 3 a.m. so I am exhausted and I need to go to sleep. And you can talk more about how you trust the universe. You can also ask for more on a full moon if you need help manifesting something else. It doesn't have to be much, as long as you write something on the full moon, I think helps. Like I mentioned, it's almost 3 a.m. and I'm so sleepy, but I wanted to film this video, like I said, for years. So I really hope that you enjoyed and I hope this was helpful. Like I said, every single cycle, every single new moon and full moon looks different depending on who I am during that cycle. So luckily right now I'm at a very stable place in my life, but if I were making this video like 3 years ago, oh my gosh, I would have been like in grippy socks. Like my whole day and night was consumed by just spiritual spells and rituals to try to manifest what I thought I wanted at the time. But I mean, that's what you turn to. Like sometimes people turn to prayer or God or drugs or addiction or, you know, witchcraft. But going through all those times definitely taught me a lot. And I feel like I've just picked up on so many things that you can do on new moons and full moons. And I tried really hard to think of like everything that I do. Oh, shoot. I forgot to show my candles. I haven't done them recently. I'll just show you now. And then I'm gonna go to bed and end this video. I have new moon and full moon candles that I used to light when I was writing that letter in like my younger 20s. You can just tell I'm getting old and exhausted. This black one is my new moon candles. So on new moons, I would light this while I write my manifestation list, just to like set the intention. And then I was using this for my full moons, but oh, you're so cute, Luna. About a year ago, a company also sent me some candles. They sent over this full moon candle that you can light while you write your letter to the full moon. And then they also, oh my God, they smell so good. And then this is the new moon candle as well. If I was actually on top of my ish, I would be lighting those. But more times than not, I do forget that. I don't know, I guess I just don't really feel that like, I feel very like at peace spiritually, but there are times where I'm clinging to like more, and that is when I like light the candles, play the high frequency energy. When I was manifesting this house, oh my God, everything was going on, you know, incense, candles, frequencies, crystals, everything. The thing is, it like really works because you're putting so much energy into something that you want so badly, you know, that the universe will do everything in its power to give it to you. But I don't want to overwhelm you with, oh, you have to do this and this and this and this, because when it comes down to it, you just need the intention. You just need to somehow manifest it. And there are so many different ways, but don't feel overwhelmed by it. Like at the end of the day, just write it down, just speak it into existence. Also, if I was really, really struggling, I would leave this open to the letter that I just wrote, and then I would put it under my pillow and I would sleep on it. Sounds kind of silly, but there were times, many times where I did that. But I hope you enjoyed coming on this new moon and full moon with me. If this does well, I'll do this again in the future and kind of highlight different things that I do. Like in the summer, I'm charging moon water a ton because it's just warm out and I'm outside a lot, so it's easier. Or if there's something deep going on, maybe I'm doing like a spell or something, I'll show you that as well. There's just so much. It would be impossible to squeeze it into one video, but I am so exhausted, so I'm gonna go to bed. Please subscribe, and then I'll leave my spiritual playlist down below so you can check out all of the other witchy or spiritual videos that I've done. With all that being said though, I'm going to bed. Good night!